Hello, hello, and welcome to Griftlands. This is one of my favorite games ever. This is a sci-fi roguelike deck builder where you play as a grifter, or rather a bounty hunter, mercenary, whatever you want to call it. Exploring the continent of Havaria to achieve your own selfish personal goals. Unlike most roguelikes, Griftlands has a very robust and interesting narrative and world, and also has some great, emergent storytelling elements that I think are fantastic. And I'm really excited to show this game off to you guys. I haven't played it for a long while, but I'm going to attempt to play the game on the second highest difficulty level, which is Prestige 6, because I think the earlier difficulty levels are a little bit too easy, and also because on the second highest difficulty level I still get to keep all of my meta progression. And again, I haven't played this for several years, so I might lose, and that'll make me really sad because each level of Griftlands is really long. But we'll figure it out. So, if you don't know anything about this game, here is a tiny primer. Unlike most roguelike deck builders, in Griftlands, you have two decks. You have a negotiation deck, and you have a battle deck. Because in Griftlands, you will do negotiations, and you will do battles. Battles are the typical Slay the Spire bullshit, where you have to beat up your enemies in order to make them go away, and also prevent them from hurting you. And negotiations are social encounters to convince people to do things for you, like help you in fights, or not participate in fights, or whatever else. So, some extremely useful stuff there. Between these two decks, you have to navigate the Griftlands, sort of mitigating risk as much as possible. Basically, negotiation is really good for preventing you from getting into bad spots or completing quests, and battle is really good for winning, because at the end of every campaign, there is a big damn boss fight. So if you don't take enough battles early in the game to get stronger, you will be hella screwed if you go to fight the final boss. So you need to be very careful with that. Let's talk about Prestige. Prestige is the difficulty modifiers of the game. We're going to be playing at Prestige level 6, which includes all of the difficulty modifiers from the previous levels, excluding Introduction. So, at level 1, we can't restart the day when we die. Non-boss enemies have upgraded abilities and have a chance to spawn as promoted versions, and negotiation opponents have improved arguments. So, basically, just everything is baseline a little bit harder. Non-boss enemies are stronger in battle, negotiation opponents have increased resolve and damage at level 2, and bosses are stronger. So that's even scarier. Getting hurt hurts. Resolve is no longer restored after each battle, and only 50% of your health and resolve are restored when sleeping. Resolve is your HP for negotiations, as opposed to health, which is your HP for battles. In level 4, allies are weaker in battle, species boons are more powerful in battle, and bosses are even stronger in battle. This is a sci-fi game, so species boons apply to aliens. Humans, I believe, don't get them. Whether or not a character is an alien is basically totally random. But the alien species boons are more powerful, which are just like little passives that aliens get for just being not humans, just being better. Straight up. At level 5, we get Strive for Perfection, so we start with less max health and less max resolve. And at level 6, everything costs more money, which is shills, and we start with fewer battle graft and negotiation graft slots, which basically means that we can hold fewer relics, which is really scary. So, that is the vibe. We also have perks. This is a meta progression thing that is independent of Prestige, so you can take perks even if you're playing at Prestige 7. The perks that I currently have equipped are Expanded Assortments, which gives me more options when grafts can be chosen. Survivalist, which heals me for 4 HP after each battle, kind of like we have mini Iron Blood from Slay the Spire. And Unencumbered, which gives us an additional graft slot of each type, which sort of cancels out some of the problems that you get for playing on Prestige 6, which is very nice. Expanded Assortment is okay, but in the interest of not losing, these very, very, very long campaigns. Because when I played a warm-up game earlier, it took me 3 hours, and that was out without reading anything out loud, or commentating, or introducing the game to anyone. It took me 3 hours to complete Sal's campaign. So I'm gonna take Perseverance in order to not have to re-record the entire run if I die at some point. So that's the vibe. Otherwise I would take Expanded Assortment. It is really good. So that is the vibe. I have other meta progression, but I can't show it to you before we start a game. But that is all we can do. I will explain more of the game's mechanics as we actually get into the game. But let's hit start.
You're a bounty hunter. You escaped a life of indentured labor by hunting criminals and debt dodgers. The work has earned you your freedom, if not any friends. Now you're back home, for the first time in 10 years. But freedom comes with its own dangers, and making a living in Havaria won't be easy. Here the gangs are feral, the law enforcement are corrupt, and the people are treated like chattel, indebted to merciless criminals. Criminals like Cassio, the ruthless debt broker who sold you to the Derricks in the first place. But now, Cassio's grip has weakened, and there's a bounty on her head too rich to ignore. You'll die before you go into debt again, and so will she, if you have your say. Your first stop is a dive called the Grog and Dog, where an old friend will help you get your revenge, provided you can prove yourself.
At first sniff, the Grog and Dog smells like stale hops and dried blood. Well, look what the tide dredged up. Fish, by the holy brine, I'd tear up if I weren't dead inside. It's a damn good to see you looking well. You have a plan to get on your feet? I do. That bounty on Cassio. How do we... Forget it. You might have grown up strong, but you ain't that strong. But that's not going to stop you from trying, is it? If you want a chance at surviving this, you'd better make yourself some friends, fast. I can help you with that. Knew I could count on you, fish. So, this is our sort of introduction to Griftlands. In addition to all of the roguelike deck builder goodness gameplay, we also have a lot of dialogue in this game, so I'm going to try to read it out for you guys. And we can ask a bunch of questions to Fish about the world and about herself and about Cassio, so why don't we ask about that? Help me get my bearings. It's been a long time since I was last in Havaria. So this is the continent that we are on. It is a largely unsettled continent on the western side of the Hessian Sea. So we're sort of on the frontier. It's dirty and broken, like always. If debt brokering was bad when you were a kid, it's worse now. Half the population is indentured, and them that hold contracts sell them to pay off their own. No wonder customs was so uptight on my way back in. It must be a lot of fraud. But that ain't the half of it. The Admiralty is pushing for an official annex. So the Admiralty, the Deltrian Admiralty, is a military force occupying Murder Bay, which is the town that we're in. They want to make everyone real Deltrian citizens with papers and everything. Deltri is the most powerful nation in the world, located across the mainland, or across the sea on the mainland. In Havaria, you're joking. They say it'll stop illegal debt brokering. Now anyone with a hand in labor contracts is a real ornery, from the poor to the powerful. You can imagine the reaction. I can. The annex can be a popular move. Most come here to get away from the Admiralty. It ain't. Both the Spree and the Cult are in arms about it. The Spree because they're criminals. The Cult because they profit off the labor more than anybody. So the Spree are a bunch of bandits, and the Cult is the Cult of Hesh, the dominant religion in Havaria, whose adherents worship Hesh, an abyssal jellyfish god. No need to tell me that. The cult's holding a big shindig in a few days, their usual wheeling and dealing in the name of the divine. Where it is, the Admiralty is going to use it to make their proposition. Mandatory citizenship. It's going to need to be a mighty good pitch to convince the cult, and I wouldn't put it past the Spree to set fire to the whole affair if they can. Fish casts a dour eye over the bar, like it's a garden on the near side of winter. Suffice it to say, kid, tensions are real high. You'd be smart to keep your head down instead of looking for trouble. So what do I owe you for this, fish? A cut of my takings? Hesh no! I left my bounty hunting days behind me. I owed your parents once. I don't like leaving debts unsettled, even to dead folks. They were decent people, Sal Fallon. Watch, you don't end up like them. You know, even when you pay off the debts, the Derrick still owns your name. I'm a Nick Derrick now, or so they tell me. So the Derricks are both the offshore Lumen platform and the indentured laborers who work there. And an Ick Derrick is the surname given to all indentured workers consigned to the cult's offshore Lumen Derricks. Lumen is this sort of world's applied phlebotinum, and it's like the stuff that's in Sal's like little pauldron here that's making it like all blue and glowy. That's what Lumen is. Yeah, that's a messed up bladder though. Yeah. You lined up work for me real fast. You some kind of mover here? Nah, I just know people. And people know me. You don't need to go after Kashio, kid. I have enough work to keep you busy. I spent my childhood in a Lumen pipe because of her. And now she's worth more money than either of us can count. So, a biofuel harvested from the ocean floor, monopolized by the cult of Hesh and harvested by indentured labor. So, you know, slaves. It's great. And she's more dangerous than either of us can figure. You go after her and she'll clap back with a knife for each kidney. I may have extras to spare, but you only got 2. I worked off a lifetime's debt in 10 years just so I could get back here and settle the score. If you were my friend, you wouldn't be telling me to drop it. Hesh, that ain't what I meant. You know it ain't. I'll give you a roof, a bed, and at least one good meal a day. You live your life the way you want. It's yours. I'll pay you back. I know. Let's get you to work. So, let's get our work. I got people in my pocket who owe me a favor. Leaky, Alta, and Precht. They're easy people to find. Tell them I sent you, and they can settle their tabs by giving you work. Get that done, and I'll get you a plate of popped Ashnu eyes on the house. An Ashnu is a big snail. Bless your warty hide, fish. I'll hold you to that. So, with that introduction out of the way, we are off to the races. But first, before we wander off, I want to show you guys the Grogan Dog. So, every area in the game is kind of a scene, right? And you can go to each area of the game, and in addition to your quest objectives, you can also talk to other NPCs in the area. We can't really talk to Bina or do anything with her right now, because she's just security here. But we can talk to Fish, and Fish can do several things for us. We can buy cards from her, which will allow us to buy item cards for either our negotiation or battle decks. We can buy a drink, which will let us heal some of our resolve, which is our HP for negotiations, in exchange for taking some curses that will go away at the end of the day if we survive. Or we can heal HP by paying her some money in exchange for a similar curse. Or we can go to our room to change our outfit, but we're not going to do that. We can take a look at what cards she has. She has Liquid Courage, Brain Gills, and Salve. Salve is pretty good. I don't think I'm going to buy it right now because I want to save my money, but I'll keep an eye on it in case we run into some trouble later. I'm not going to go over every single card as we see it in a shop, but I guess I'll go over these for the first time. So these 2 are negotiation cards, right? So these item cards will destroy after a certain number of uses. So the salve will destroy itself after 1 use, and its whole thing is that it will heal you for 10, which means if you lose 10 HP, this will give you 10 HP. It also replenishes, which means that when you draw this card, you will draw an additional card with it, meaning that it doesn't actually take up space in your deck so long as you're not meeting your hand limit. So it's pretty good to have something like this around, because it just gives you more options on your turn, but you can only use it once. We also have Brain Gills. The next card played this turn gains 3 additional XP, which has Expend and Replenish, so it's the same thing. It will draw another card with itself. It's a 0 cost, so you can always play it. And it expends, so it removes itself from our deck for the rest of the negotiation. But it gives the next card that we play extra XP. That is a mechanic of this game. Cards gain XP as you play them, which is how you upgrade them. So rather than Slay the Spire where you go to like a rest site and you just like pick a card to upgrade, all of your cards will upgrade when they've gained enough EXP. I have some meta upgrades that allow all of my starting deck cards to start with EXP already, which is really, really good. But that is not a default perk that you have if you're just starting the game to play. That's something that I bought after playing this game many, many, many times. So, we also have Liquid Courage here. This applies 6 exposure and expends, 6 composure. Composure is just block for your negotiations. So we don't need any of those cards. So we're just going to leave. But I thought I'd show off that that's something that you can do at basically every area in the game. So let's take a look at what our 3 missions are. We have Friend or Fanatic, which is a battle and negotiation mission. Typically, a 1-star mission will either only have a battle or a negotiation, not both. If we take this, we get to pick a card to help us with the quest, and we also get to remove a card from our deck, and we get 55 shills, which is not bad. We have Hit the Beach, which lets us pick a card and upgrade a card at the end of it and gain 60 shills. This I'm leaning heavily toward, especially since it's a battle. And we also have Secret Shopper, which gives us 80 shills and lets us take a starting bonus, but that's it. As much as I like battle and negotiation, well, you know what? Let's take Friend or Fanatic. Just to take a look at it. Now, this is a location just like any other location, and we could have gone to those other locations instead. We don't have to, we don't get locked into anything until we actually do something. Oh, and this is a random event. Sitting conspicuously by the side of the road, you notice an old shrine. It doesn't look Hessian, so we can make an offering, we can meditate by the shrine, or we can leave. Upgrades are easier to come by than removals, so I'm going to remove a card. The card that I'm going to remove... unfortunately, it's very early to be choosing what cards to remove, but I will remove a Fast Talk.
So he kept you.
You don't know who this shrine is for, but you leave your offering in a groove on the worn-down pedestal and return to the road. So, but we can go to these other places. Now, this is Better Living Chemists. This is a shop. So we can do a couple of different things here. We can talk to Leaky to take his quest. We can, talk to Trina, and we can buy cards from her, so we can take a look at... So, most shops only sell item cards, but let's take a look. Healing Vapors apply 6 Mending and Replenish, destroy after 1 use, so at the end of your turn, heal an amount of HP equal to Mending, and then reduce Mending by 1. So this is like the Salve, but it's basically like a regen potion, but it costs 1 action to play. We got Speed Tonic, 2 random cards in your hand, cost 0 until played. Replenish. This destroys after 1 use. And Adrenaline Shot. Add 2 copies of Hasten into your draw pile. Replenish. Destroys after 3 uses. So these are 0-cost cards that we can draw later that will give us an extra action for that turn. And they also, if we draw them, they will also draw an extra card along with them, which is really good. So that's a really good card for battles. But again, I don't want to be spending money on that right now. So that's what's available there. And then we can also head to... the Gutted Yote, which is another bar. This is where the Spree hang out. Lots of characters we can talk to here, but mostly we want to just talk to the proprietor. And we can see what cards that he's selling. He's selling a Vial of Slurry, very good card. I almost always buy these if I can. But I would rather buy one from Fish than from this guy, because they're more expensive from him. A Hit Flask gives us Influence. That's a very useful argument for negotiation that makes all of our green cards do max damage. It's very, very good. And Tincture, gain 2 power and Replenish. This is also insanely good if you have multi-hit cards. All really good cards. Unfortunately, I can't afford them right now, but we could buy them if we wanted to. The quest that we're going to take is Friend or Fanatic. So let's talk to Alta. Alta's the type who thinks the sky itself is proof of her faith, because it hasn't fallen down yet. Alta nods in acknowledgement of your presence. Well, it's a start. You're a hunter, right? So you do jobs for pay? Not all jobs, and only for a certain amount of pay, but you got the idea. My friend Umrit was on a mission through the more rugged parts of Murder Bay, but I haven't heard from her in days. She's a luminari, trained in combat. It's hard to believe some miscreants managed to get the jump on her, but she's missing all the same. I petitioned the priests in Supplicant City to investigate, but I worry they'll come too late. Will you look for her? Alta has offered you a reward to rescue Umrit from bandits. We will definitely take this quest. I think it's really good. So we have 2 battle cards. Brazen Attack, imply 2 impair, and it's piercing. So this weakens the enemy, basically. They will do 33% less damage for the next 2 turns when we play it. And it ignores armor, which is really, really good. So that's a really strong battle card to take. We also have Bloodbath. Whenever you apply bleed, apply 1 bleed to all other enemies. This is basically a power, if you're familiar with powers from Slay the Spire. And we also have setup. Gain 2 influence, and at the end of your turn, lose 2 influence. This makes all of our green cards better. I am going to take Brazen Attack. Because it seems really, really good. And we also get some bonus money because I've passed it up a bunch of times in card picks. A job for pay. You got yourself a deal. Thank you, Hunter. This is a huge relief. May your path keep to the shallows. Okay. So we have to find this Luminary. Umrit's trail leads you here. Judging by the prints, she's likely lost her footing in a scuffle with bandits. You spot the telltale signs of a kidnapping and follow the trail. You hear voices and melt back into the bush like a stalking yote. To your surprise, you don't find a bandit camp, but rather the Admiralty, with shoulders as stiff as their starched collars. Nothing personal, Luminary. I don't want to hurt you. Not least because that would really piss in Hesh's waters. We just have a point to make, is all. The spree do this to travelers all the time, but the Annex can stop it. You choose your path, soldier. This cult will hear of this, whatever you do to me. Sorry to say that that's the idea, pal. They'll just think it's the spree who did it. This isn't quite what you expected, but a rescue mission is a rescue mission. Better get to it. So, we can take Umrit by force, and we have advantage, but Prent here is a pretty tough enemy. Or, we can try to threaten Prent with a negotiation. I would rather take the fight here, because I want to get stronger, and the only way to get stronger is to take fights. Before Prent has a chance to react, you emerge from hiding with your weapons ready. So Prent dislikes us, because we're attacking her. If we had done the negotiation, I think she would have disliked us as well. But let's take a look at what she's got here. She's got 1 power from Jiracal Instinct. So she gained 1 power at the start of her turn. So she's dealing 9 damage to us right now, which is really scary. She also has Formation. At the end of promoted goon Prent's turn, she applies 5 defense to all allies. I don't know if that includes her. I guess we'll find out. But she's doing 9 damage to us, which is not good. So I'm going to play both of our feints, which are defensive cards, and I'm going to play an elbow strike to get some damage on her. Now, as you can see, she has 91 HP, but she also has 65 panic. So when she receives 65 more damage, she will run away, because we probably don't want to kill her. This is what we probably want to trigger. Oh, and then actually, I didn't realize that we had an extra attack. It's because of the ambush, or because we had an first strike. So I'm going to play a second elbow strike. This is a really scary fight, because she has a lot of HP, and we are very weak. But we're going to see how it goes. She hit us with something called Lumen Burnt. Whenever an attack removes all Grift or Sal's defense, take 4 damage, and reduce Lumen Burnt by the 1 at the end of your turn. So, when we lose all our defense, we will also take an additional 4 damage. So that's pretty spicy. We don't like that. I'm going to play our Brazen Attack to impair her for the next round, and we're just going to keep stacking as much damage on her as we can. Okay, so she's defended herself, which is good. She's about to do 5 damage to us, but I am going to prevent that by doing a couple of feints and then playing our daggers. Between the two of these, I'm going to play the Saber Grip, which will apply Bleed. Bleed will deal damage to her at the end of her turn, or at the beginning of her turn, and that's the only way we were going to do damage to her this turn. Anyway. So, she's going to defend herself again, it looks like. I'm going to click Fight Dirty. This will allow us to improvise a card. Improvisation basically, in this case, allows us to generate a new card. In other cases, it will allow us to draw 1 of 3 specific cards from either a deck or a discard. But in this case, I'm going to take Trip. This applies 2 Wound, which means that all of our attacks on her will do 2 additional damage this turn, which is pretty good. And because she's not attacking me, I think I'll take the opportunity to do as much damage to her as possible. Okay, now she's going to do 10 damage to us. I'm going to play another Brazen Strike to reduce that. And unfortunately, the best we can do here is just play a feint. So we're going to take a little more damage here. But that's fine. We are now fatigued, so our cards will no longer gain EXP because this fight has gone on for too long. So we really need to hustle in the damage dealing sphere. So I'm going to play a Saber Grip, a Stab, and another Elbow Strike. She's still got 23 HP, so we've got quite a ways to go. unfortunately. We're going to do another Brazen attack to apply some repair. And I'm going to play another Feint. She's chipping away at our HP, but it's not too bad because this is our first fight of the whole run. Unfortunately, we don't get any EXP for the rest of this fight, so it kind of doesn't matter what we play anymore. So I'm just going to focus on hitting her as much as possible. We should be able to take her out this turn. Bada bing. She's panicking. We could kill her if we wanted to. I don't want to, so I am just going to accept her surrender. And if we killed her, we would get that card that was in her thing. But also some other people might not like us very much if we actually did end up killing her. So let's take a look at what we got. We got Spare Blades. If this is discarded, insert a Blade Flash into your hand. It is but this card is unplayable. So if we had a lot of cards that discarded other cards, this would be a good pick. Combination, deal 3 bonus damage if you have any combo and then gain 2 combo. Or Murder Bay Boxing, at the start of your turn, draw an additional card if you have at least 2 combo. This is a pretty good card if you have a combo deck. I think I'm going to take Combination, and we're going to move towards a combo build. So with that in mind, let's take a look at what we can do with our card here. Okay, before I make a decision there, I'm going to look at what our other strike becomes, other elbow strike becomes. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to take Finishing Strike here, and I'm going to take Lucid Strike here. Finishing Strike makes this a combo finisher, so it'll do extra damage when you hand combo, and considering that we just picked up Combination, we're gonna be going for a combo deck, so that's pretty good. And we also have a Lucid Strike here. This will do 2 more damage, but it will also expend, so we won't draw it again after we play it the first time, which is really, really good. Because it's kind of a low impact card, so we don't really want it. We can either take high 4 defense and gain 2 counter, or apply 10 defense and gain destroy. So this will clear its way out of our deck. I don't really want to take this because I think defensive cards are actually quite valuable in this game. So I'm going to take Spine Feint for counter. Counter allows you to deal 1 damage back to the enemy when you are hit, and you remove all counter at the beginning of your turn. So that's very cool. And now we're done. And we can talk to Umrit. Who are you, really? Alta sent me. You mean Hesh sent you. Thank the deep waters. Sure, fella, whatever. You grab Umrit, remove her cuffs, and leave before anyone else arrives. So, you take her back to her friend. Turn her to her. There you go. 1 Luminari, alive and, well, alive. This one leaves puddles in her footsteps, I think, Alta. I am unharmed. Ah, that's wonderful news. Thank you, Sal. Hesh's tendrils truly quiver where you walk. That's... yikes. What about my payment? Yes, of course. Profits to those who embrace the abyss. Get paid 55 shells, you gain a medal, and I get to remove a card. I'm going to remove a battle card. Of all of the cards I want to remove, it is probably this step. Umrit also loves us for some reason. You've managed to capture her loyalty. Don't waste it. We saved her life. And we gain the Bell of Hesh. We draw an extra card at the start of every negotiation. Insanely good boon. Did I go over this? Boons and Banes. So you have social boons and banes. These are also kind of like your relics, separate from graphs. When a character loves you, you will get a passive bonus. When a character hates you, we'll get a passive, I don't know, debuff. Because Fish loves us, we get Cozy, but because Cascio hates us, we get Troubled Past. But now, because Umrit loves us, we get the Bell of Hesh. So, cool stuff. One of the good ways to get stronger in this game. But we are done here. And now we have 3 more quests that we can do. But we also have 2 limited time opportunities. We have a meditation spot, and we have a healing spring. Between the 2 of these, I'm going to go to the healing spring, but neither of them are particularly good, because we're sitting pretty at high resolve and high HP. Find a fissure in the ground fuming with toxic vapors. On the far side, you spot a rare healing wort, grown fat with broad leaves under the lumen's influence. So I can eat this until so the only thing that's really useful to me here is eating until I can't eat anymore. I will gain 10 max HP, but I will take 15 damage. That is fine with me. Because max HP is really good, and we have ways to heal. You pound back fruit after fruit, pausing only to devour mouthfuls of leaves. You pass out. Alien chemicals coursing through your system. Alien thoughts coursing through your head. Gain 10 max HP. You wake up in a puddle of fruit juice and your own filth. Disgusting. Anyway. But we have more max HP, so that's good. So, we have 3 quests. This is a challenging quest, and these are regular. So, let's take a look at the challenging quest. If we do this quest, we get to pick a graft. Grafts are really good, so obviously I want to do it. We also get a starting bonus, and we gain 2 metal and 85 shills, which is not bad. But it is a negotiation quest, and we have no negotiation cards at all. So we do need to be mindful of that. We have Recon and Force. Investigate a wilderness location for signs of illegal activity. We just get a starting bonus and 85 shills and nothing else. And we have competing bids, 60 shills, and a starting bonus. Yeah, I think we take early retirement, even if we don't have a high negotiation power, because we really, really want that graft. Someone dressed an awful lot like a shopkeeper stops you in your tracks. She pulls a knife out of the front pocket of her work apron and waves it like a bundle of burning sage. All right, sludge sucker, hand over all you've got. Don't make me use this. You're not even sure she knows how. You can ask her. Let's ask her about what's going on. Is this a holdup? Yes. Really? I got a knife, don't I? We're alone in the wilderness, ain't we? What's so hard to get? Well, it's just that I'm a well-equipped bounty hunter, and I'm your worst nightmare. Don't doubt that for a second. Yeah, sure. So we could defend ourselves to fight her, and that would certainly be very beneficial for our combat. But this is also an intimidation attempt. If we try to scare her away. We also offer her a job, but we'd have to give her money. Listen, what's your name again? Shell. Sucker spawn, I should have told you that. Right, well, you did, so I don't want to fight you. But how about a job? I could pay you for protection. Protection, eh? I don't blame you. It's scary world out there. It can be, yes? I'm not going to do that. It's a lot for someone who shows up with no references. Yeah? Then fight me, and you'll see how strong I really am. Ugh, okay. So I don't really want to fight her. This is a good opportunity to get some negotiation experience. The opponent has +10 resolve because Shell is done. Something's going on with Shell. She's losing it. Okay. Let's try to scare her away. This is an intimidation attempt, so this is a little bit different from a regular negotiation. Take a second to really let this whole situation sink in, huh? So, and in an intimidation, you gain these 2 hostility cards. At the end of your turn, you incept 2 intimidated. So basically, when the enemy is intimidated, hostility cards deal additional damage to them. But we remove a stack when we play a hostility card. So it's just a temporary bonus. But this also gums up our deck a little bit. So, some stuff to talk about with negotiations. So this is what she's doing to us. This is her intent. She's going to do 4 damage to our core argument. Our core argument is basically where our HP lives. It also has a passive bonus. Our core argument, because we are Sal, is that we gain 1 composure at the start of each turn. So she's actually only going to be able to do 3 damage to us. She has a core argument. This is based on her faction. Because she's a merchant, her core argument is proposition. So she will add a kickback card to our draw pile at the end of her turn, which basically gums up our deck with damage cards that make us pay her money to do damage to her argument. So not great, but we can work with this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play Sal's Instincts. And even though Dominance would be really useful in this fight, I'm actually going to play Inspiration to gain Influence. Influence is an argument. This is like a unit for your negotiation, and Influence specifically causes all of our diplomacy cards to deal max damage. So whenever we draw our other fast talk, it will also do 3 damage, and it won't go any lower than that. I'm also going to play a Deflection in order to not take damage this turn, and we're going to play the fast talk to do damage to our argument. So that's sort of how negotiations work. But she's going to add a kickback into our deck, which means that we drew that card, which totally sucks. Now, this is an intimidation, so whenever we play a card, or whenever we play a non-hostility card, we do lose the intimidates that are in her inventory. I don't want to pay this kickback, so I'm just going to play another deflection even though I don't need it, because at least I do get EXP for playing it. Okay, so she has created an argument of her own. This is a bounty. When we destroy this bounty, we draw 1 extra card at the start of our next turn. So that's really good. We definitely want to destroy that bounty. But it does mean that we will be doing less damage to her core. But any damage overflow will be applied to her core argument anyway. And we played a hostility card, so it did extra damage. Here I'm actually going to play Attitude, even though we're not going to be able to keep the dominance that we gain from it. And now I'm going to play Quick Thinking because it's the only other thing I can do. This is another improvisational card, so we get to generate one of these 3 cards. We can apply 2 Composure on 2 random friendly arguments, or we can gain a Bow's action for next turn, or we can apply 3 Composure. I'm going to apply 3 Composure to our main argument, and we're going to skip the kickbacks. Now she's given us a bad deal where we have to pay 15 shields. If we end the card, we end our turn with this card in our hand, we take 8 damage. So this is one of the problems with having to negotiate with merchants, is that they can put a lot of debuffs in your deck that suck hard. But taking resolve damage is not the end of the world, so I'm not super worried about it. We're just going to play both of our fast talks to just get some damage on her, and I'm going to play a deflection to try and limit the damage from bad deal. Now, Influence also has HP of its own, but that HP does not matter, so we're fine with that taking 1 damage there. Damn, I'm getting super unlucky. But she's super close to being dead, which is good. I'm going to protect my influence and also my core argument here. But now she's going to start gaining impatience because this negotiation has gone on for too long, and we are fatigued, so we no longer gain EXP, but that is fine because we are basically done here. So there we are. We have defeated her. She dislikes us. And we've intimidated her away. And we get to pick a negotiation card, which is really good. Tyrannize. Spend 1 influence to gain 2 dominance. That will make our hostility cards better, which I'm very tempted by. Setup. Gain 2 influence. At the end of your turn, lose 2 influence. So this is okay, but it's not amazing. And Abrupt Remark. Draw 1 card. This is evoked when an opponent argument is removed or destroyed. This just replaces itself, so it's not very good. But it's okay. We're definitely going to take Tyrannize. You better listen close. I'm a bounty hunter, so I ain't got no bounty on my head. Yeah, because you're not dangerous. Huh? Just get out of here before I turn your insides out and stuff you in a chum bucket. Okay, okay. Sheesh, nobody ever said Muggery'd be this hard. Shell shrugs off your anger and turns for the road, muttering. So that was actually really good because we got to get some negotiation experience. But we still want to go do early retirement. So we can buy stuff from Trina again if we want. She's got the same stuff as she had before, but we don't want it. And we're going to talk to Leaky. Word is Leaky makes money on the side, stooging for debt brokers and keeping derricks well stocked with labor. Another day in the feud, huh? Opportunity, early retirement. So, let's ask him about it. We're on business, actually. You wanted a hunter? Ah, right. A friend of mine is coming to town. They need a job. Unfortunately, all the best jobs are taken often by unqualified direct. Gura, in particular. I've written letters of complaint to his superiors, but nothing's been done. Wow, after you wrote letters of complaint and everything. Right? My friend needs that job, so I want you to get Gura fired. With force, if necessary. So, we need to get this guy fired somehow. That's fine. I'm into that. Let's see. What do we got? Subtlety. Spend 1 influence and draw 2 cards. No, we don't have enough influence gain. Seeds of Doubt. This is an interesting card. This incepts doubt, which is an argument that you can actually grant to your opponent. And if you grant that argument to your opponent, they will take 2 resolve damage every turn, which is very, very good. And does help us defeat our enemies. The problem is that we're kind of leaning more towards a hostility deck. But Seeds of Doubt doesn't compete with that. And we also get some money if we take it. So I will take it. Sure, why not? Should be an easy task. Sentru is the site supervisor. She's the one you want to convince. Keep that in mind. Cool. So, we need to go to the site. We need to talk to Sentru, or we can talk to Gura. Let's talk to Sentru. Just because Sentru's in charge doesn't mean the labor's any lighter. Another day, another shill, another drink. Convince Sentru to fire Gura. This is just a flat negotiation. Urbla is also here. We can pay her to look the other way. Urbla will probably help Gura if we, like, fight him. If the strain in his brow is anything to go by, Gura must be open to a new line of work. So we can convince Gura to leave his job rather than getting him fired. Or we can attack him. I would prefer to convince Gura to leave his job rather than getting him fired. So that's what I'm going to do. Man, you work here? It's kind of a dump, ain't it? Is it? So, Gura is a worker, so he has the core argument defensive. He gains 3 composure whenever Sal creates a new argument. So we have to be thoughtful of that. I don't want options right now. I'm going to take debate, but I don't think I'm going to play it this turn. And I'm going to threaten him just to get some more EXP on him. So he has gained the argument suspicion, so our diplomacy cards will deal less damage. But that is fine, because we're going for non-diplomacy solutions. Now, I could defend this turn, but I really want to play Tyrannize. And I also really want to play Seeds of Doubt. And he's going to gain a bunch of composure for that anyway. But that's fine. Losing a little bit more resolve here is not going to be a massive problem. I just need to prevent more resolve loss now. So we can play Tyrannize again, which is amazing. That's going to make our Threaten much more powerful. He's going to do a bunch of damage to our Dominance, so I don't want him to do that. So I'm going to play a Deflection. That'll keep our Dominance up for at least one more turn. We have also gained a bounty, Bone Tired. So when we destroy this bounty, he will lose 12 resolve, which is huge. So I'm going to play a Debate to destroy it, which is very good. I'm going to play a Deflection to not take damage. We're going to play a Threaten to deal damage to him. And we're going to Incept more Doubt. But now he's going to grow Impatient, and I think we're going to get Fatigued next turn. I would love to play Tyrannize again. But I need some more influence in order to do so. That did create a new argument, so that is kind of an issue for us, but not too much of one. He's going to survive this turn, and he's going to deal 4 more resolve damage to us, which is not great. But we did get some decent EXP on our cards. So, and we should win this turn, so that is good. Now, Doubt only applies after he's already gone, so we do have to remember that. It's not going to end the fight before he does his action. But it's still pretty good. And we have a bunch of upgrades available now. But let's take a look at what negotiation card we're getting first. We have Abrupt Remark, which allows us to draw a card. We have Know-It-All, which allows us to gain 3 smarts and 1 vulnerability. And we have Setup, which allows us to gain 2 influence and at the end of the turn lose influence. I don't love Setup. But it is a way to gain influence that isn't tied to us playing Sal's Instincts, and it is also 0 cost, so I will take it. And now we can upgrade a bunch of our cards, so let's take a look here. Let's start with the Threatens. Lucid Threaten allows us to gain Dominance, or Mirror Threaten allows us to attack twice with this card. Let's take a look at what our other Threaten does. Threaten of Clarity, which will remove it from our deck, or Boosted Threaten, which just increases its lower bound for damage. I'm going to take Boosted Threaten, and I'm going to take Lucid Threaten because we're going to go for a Hostility deck here with Tyrannize. And now we can choose from our deflections. We can apply 3 composure or draw a card, or apply 3 composure to all stuff. I'm going to take visionary deflection here because we have a 0 cost. I'm going to take wide deflection here because it's just really good. And I'm going to take a boosted deflection. Boom. So that's all of our upgrades. And now we've convinced him to leave his job for some reason. Someone of your skill set can do better elsewhere, right? There's got to be loads of opportunities available. You could get a job with benefits, or heck, even a raise. Hey, you know what? I could, yeah. Gura throws his work badge on the ground. I'm desirable. I'm skilled. I don't gotta stand for this. The future's the limit, baby. Gura saunters off to enjoy his newfound freedom, but not before throwing a rude gesture toward his colleagues. So, we managed to do that without him disliking us, which is the important part. And now we can go back to Leaky. Hello, Sal. Job's done. Gura's out of work. Well, that's great news. Hey, meet Auric. He's gonna do a real bang-up job. Maybe Sentru will finally be able to get some rest and not have to clean up after others anymore. Nice to meet ya. Thanks for the job. Now get to work, you lazy Ashnu. You get paid 85 shills, and Auric likes us, and we gain 2 metal. And we also get to pick a graft, which is massive. And Leaky also likes us. So, we get to choose between 2 negotiation graphs or a combat graph. The negotiation graphs are at the start of each negotiation, insert a conductor card into your hand that redirects opponent intents. Not terrible. Pocket Bomb. Whenever you shuffle your deck, deal 3 damage to your random opponent argument. That is okay. It's not amazing, but it's okay. And Robustify, gain 10 max health. This can really save you in the early game. So I'm not against it. I'm not against it at all. In fact, I'm going to take it because that's the safest option of these 3. And I don't want to record a new. I don't want to have to restart if I die. So we're gonna take that. Okay. So we have 3 opportunities. We have Sparring with Umrit. This will allow us to upgrade a card at the cost of some health. And Desolate Battlefield, which will allow us to loot something. What cards do we have that I might desperately want to upgrade? Probably Combination between the 2 of these. But I will lose some HP for it. And we're going to have to do a fight at the end of this day. So I do need to be careful about that. I am going to go for the upgrade on Combination, I think. Fish greets you enthusiastically. Sal, I've lined up a great opportunity for you. Those 2 over there are night merchants. They sell rare goods you can't get nowhere else. And it just so happens they need your help. You can only be in one place at a time. But either will get you a leg up you sorely need, kid. Go tell them I sent you and ingratiate yourself. Just be warned that they're both persnickety snow-and-sos. So you're probably going to cheese the one you don't pick. Oh, God. I've ruined that line delivery. I'm just moving past it. Huh, sounds neat. Thanks, Fish. But we're gonna char with Umrit. Spar with Umrit. Char. Jesus Christ. I can't speak. Rita's happy to see you. Hey, Sal. You feel like throwing down? I have a new move I want to try out. Watch closely. You might even pick up a thing or 2. And I promise not to hurt ya. So, we can upgrade a feint. Oh, we get to choose which card to upgrade here. Okay. Upgrade Combination. So, we can choose between Rivals Combination, which gives us more combo, or Boosted Combination, which increases its base damage, which I think, honestly, is better. Sure. Try to keep up, though, eh? You and Umrit spar for a while, both pulling your punches because you got the luxury. You trade tips as you trade blows. I was 4 HP, but I upgraded that card really early, which is really good. Now that was a good workout. Gonna feel it for days. That's how you know it was a good one. Thanks for the match, Umrit. Okay, so we couldn't do that. Now, this thing over here, by the way, this is the metal vendor. This is the, basically, it's the meta progression shop. We're not gonna interact with that right now because we can't do anything with it anyway. Our 2 options are Rake and Frolic of the Beasts. I'm going to tell you right now. Frolic of the Beast is the one that I'm going to do because pets are expensive as hell, and doing this job for him gives us a pet for less money, or will help us get pets for less money, and pets are insanely useful. You want them desperately. Rake is the combat merchant. Unlucky to lose favor with Rake, but I'd rather lose favor with Rake than with other characters. Than with Frolic. So we're going to take Frolic. Some people keep pets. Frolic keeps battle steeds. Would you look at this? A filthy vagrant talking to a lonely bandit. Not sure who should be the more offended between the two. That's a good special job. Fish says you got work. You're the grifter she was talking so highly of. Tell me, are you good with animals? Depends on the animal, I suppose. The one I'm concerned with is a bit more exotic than you're probably used to. There's a grocket loose in Murder Bay, and I intend to catch it. A deadly bog beast known for its uncanny camouflage. Okay. I just need the right bait. What kind of bait? Well, oh, I see. It's building a nest nearby. It won't take too long. What is a grocket exactly? The good news is that it's an herbivore, so it's not dangerous? Oh no, it's deadly. It weighs 3 tons and has a penchant for belly flopping on anything it sees as a threat. It'll kill you. It just won't eat you afterwards. How did it get here? So this grocket's not from around here. No, they're from the ground bog mostly. This one was probably a pet that got released. People keep these things as pets? Oh yeah, they're cute little things when they're young. But to keep it too long, and next thing you know, it's built a nest out of your sweaters with your arms still inside. Jesus. Okay. Well, let's accept the job. I'll do it. Great. I know where it's trying to build its nest. I'll be looking for tough, stringy materials. Hold up. Just keep your sinews where they belong, and you'll be fine. Seems your conversation was overheard. Rake steps in to interrupt. You're going to help Frolic of the Beast instead of me? You know who I am? I'm very important. Folks who say so usually aren't. Frolic of the Beast joins you. Let's take a look at what Fish has here. I might be tempted to buy a drink because of how low my resolve is right now. But it can wait a little bit. But just a little bit. Let's take a look at what she's got. A vial of slurry would not be bad, but I'm going to hold off. I do want to buy a drink. I just don't know if I can afford to pay for that when I need to buy stuff after this, because we're going to unlock the shops after we do this quest. So, can you smell that? It smells like cabbage flatulence and old leather. Grocket, ain't no doubt. We've got the advantage of being downwind, so let's not squander it. Now you're the bait, mind. So you're in charge of sending it my way. And where are you gonna be? Over yonder, hiding in the bushes. Shouldn't we try to flank it? Make it... Nah, too dangerous for me. I ain't paying you to take issue with my strategy. But if you're gonna be a baby about it, I have some cracklers you can use. They might help. These are weapons that increase the target's panic meter by the damage done, and they are destroyed after one use. These are all good. I'm going to take all of them. Even if I don't use them all, I can use them later. And this thing is fucking scary, so we want them. I'm ready. Remember, don't kill it. Soon enough, the grocket comes lumbering by. You wave your gangly limbs from side to side, hoping that they look tough and alluring. Why, far from brains, you want some of this? How are you going to have babies if you can't even provide a home, huh? Hard to tell if a grocket is angry, but at least it seems your taunt was super effective. So this is an angry space beaver. And let's take a look at what it's got. Slated Carapace. Ignores any non-piercing damage less than or equal to 6. Removes 1 stack when attacked. And Temper. Remove 1 stack whenever you play an attack card targeting the grocket. When removed, the grocket will prepare a dangerous attack. Okay, so we have to be very careful fighting this thing. Let's fight dirty. All of these are good. I'm actually going to take Enrage here. And I'm going to use the Crackler immediately to lower its morale, because that does basically 16 damage. Power, by the way, increases all of our attack damage by 1 for the rest of the fight, so that's really good. It is now defending itself. It's now going to deal 12 damage to us. That's very scary. So we're going to play both of our feints, and otherwise I can't do anything. So I'm just going to poke it to remove another stack of its carapace. Alright, it's going to attack us again. We're going to go for the brazen attack. That's going to impair it, so it's going to do less damage to us. And we're going to play... I would love to play Sal's Daggers for the EXP. I just don't know if I can afford to do that. I'm going to do it. We're going to take some more damage here, which is really scary. Okay. There's no way we don't play Lucid Strike. We're going to play Stab, and I'm going to play a Feint just for the EXP. Okay, this thing is now going to counter us when we attack, which is very not cool. And it's already doing a shitload of damage to us, too. I might be in some real trouble against this thing. I'm going to play both of these Cracklers, I think. Regardless of the counter. Because this thing is going to fuck me up. God, I would love to play this Hammer Grip, but if I play it, I am going to be taking even more damage. And it's already doing 12. Oh, this is so not good. This is super not good. It's also going to do a deadly attack the next time I hit it. The good news is that I can impair it. I'm going to take a Hammer Grip, but I'm not going to play it. Because it's going to do something spicy the next time I attack it, and I'm very worried about that. Okay, we're going to play both of these, and I'm going to play Boosted Combination. It's not attacking me this turn anymore. Exposed Belly. All attacks do double damage, which is pretty good. But it's going to do 18 damage to me, so I need to be very precise here. I can do 20 damage to it. That's not going to stop it, so I have to play Brazen Attack to impair it, or I'm going to lose so much more HP. Oh my god, we're so screwed. Okay. Play both of our Hammer Grips so that we can play Boosted Combination. Play both of our Feints to not take any more damage this fucking fight. And we should be able to take it out this turn. Oh boy. Okay. That fucking sucks. I'm in real trouble because we're about to go into a boss fight. Yeah, we're taking survival reflexes here. And Kodeshi Feint to heal. I'll take it. You drive the Grocket toward Frolic of the Beasts, and it flees into the bushes. Sounds of a scuffle, punctuated by the occasional squawk, give way to sudden silence. Frolic of the Beast joins you in the clearing, dragging the tattered net. You alright? Did it get away? It did. Magnificent creature, that Grocket. All resilience and odor, and absolutely no weaknesses whatsoever. I can only hope to grow stronger and catch it next time. You're strangely okay with this. You didn't let it get away, did you? Of course not. That Grocket has eluded me for months. It'd be pretty thrilling having a worthy rival. We best move on. You've earned your pay and your reward. That's great. But as much as I would love to go there, I need to go to the Grog and Dog, and I need to buy a fish cake or I'm going to die. Yeah. That was 100% necessary. If we didn't do that, we were going to die in the upcoming boss fight. We might still die. So, anyway, this is the market. It's how we keep the prices low and the Admiralty off our backs. Take a look around. If you're on the market for a very little friend, I can hook you up. Frolic of the Beast likes you and will now offer a discount in his shop. That was such a scary fight. And sort of hammers home the need for a pet. We really, really need one. All of these vendors are very, very good, so we want to talk to all of them, but I'm going to talk to Frolic first because it is very important to get a pet. What the heck is that thing? Look at the beasts. This is a juvenile shroog. This is Carapace, a wild shrooglet. Fully grown, these things are terrors of the Roaloke. Let's take a look at that. The remote archipelago and biomass, where cures and diseases are spawned alike. What? okay. Apex predators in a land of apex predators. But they start out like this little cutie. He's too expensive because I had to heal. Oh, no. Asked to see turnip. This is an urchin. Native to Groutbog, these walking mouths reproduce faster than any other species in Havaria. But don't worry about this one. I fixed it. 160 shills for turnip. This thing is an okay pet. But I need a pet. I need one. So I'm going to buy it. I'll take it. So, I would like to upgrade turnip. But I cannot. So, turnip is an untrained urchin. It does not have a lot of HP. But it is a useful unit. I will not be able to afford almost anything else. But I can take a look at Rake's cards. Yeah, we can afford any of this, so there's no point in even looking at them. And we have to leave now. Not having money is very bad. It's late when you get back to the Grog and Dog, but you can spot trouble before you even step onto its porch. You slip quietly behind an overturned table before anyone notices. I hear you've been asking after my bounty, but you're out of the game, fish, so you must be asking for someone else. I don't hold it against you, but whatever hunter you're hiding, you need to hand him over. There's no hunter here, Cassio, but we both know that won't stop you from being a mudsucker. I have a business to run, same as you. There was a time when you respected that. The slimy underside of Cassio's voice is enough to draw you out of your hiding spot, blade at the ready. Don't be so smug, Cassio. Nobody gets a bounty like yours without enemies. Sal, you're the hunter? I'd have thought that Derek would have beaten the spirit out of you. Didn't have to be this way, Cassio. You could have bought me out at any time. I'd have forgiven you. With that look in your eye, I don't think so. Don't mistake this for condescension. I'm proud you made it off the Derek. I should have known you would. Excuse me if I don't stick around to see this done. It'll hurt too much to see you go down. Cassio tosses a fistful of shills onto the soiled bar counter. For the damages, fish, if you manage to survive. It ain't nothing personal after all. Not even the floorboards creak as Cassio leaves. For a moment, her goons hang there, watching to see what you'll do. Go down quiet, Hunter. I promise it'll be just like going to sleep. This guy is really dangerous, but we need to beat him. We have no choice. But first, we're going to convince the bouncer to help us. Bina, you're the bouncer. I'm hired to keep ruffians out. Cassio's a class of her own. So, Fish is here to help us, and also our urchin will give us an extra argument too, but it's an untrained pet, so it will only last for the first turn. But Fish gives us some extra influence to start with, which is really helpful. That said, this first turn kind of sucks. I am going to play setup, because it's free. I'm going to Visionary Deflection to do that. I'm going to Tyrannize. And even though I really want to play Seeds of Doubt, I also really want to play Boosted Threaten, but I am going to play Sal's Instincts to gain more dominance, and also to fully upgrade it at the end of this negotiation. Assuming we survive the boss fight that happens after this. But this negotiation shouldn't be too difficult because of the help that we're getting from the fish. Okay. We will gain 1 dominance by playing this Lucid Threaten, but first I want to play Quick Thinking. Observation is not bad, but I'd rather take Options. That gives us Setup again, which lets us get some XP for it, which is really good. I could play Quick Thinking again as well, but I don't think I will. I'm going to destroy her argument so I can see what she's aiming for, and it's a good thing I did that, because I want to defend my dominance. And she'll also take damage for not doing any damage to me, which is really, really good. We're going to play Tyrannize, spend more influence to gain more dominance, Boosted Threaten for the damage, and unfortunately, she's going to do damage to both of our arguments, and I don't want to lose my dominance, so I, once again, am going to pass up on Seeds of Doubt. But she's going to manage to do damage to us, which does suck. We're going to play setup one more time. She's going to do 4 damage to our influence. That's fine. And quick thinking again. We're going to debate because of our dominance. It actually does a decent amount of damage to her. And it looks like she's going to actually kill herself here, which is great. And we recovered some HP by doing that negotiation, which is insanely good, because this fight is going to suck. We can pick a new negotiation card, assuming that we survive. Subtlety, spend 1 influence, draw 2 cards. Clean slate, remove all arguments in play. And second win, gain 1 action for every 3 cards in your discard pile. This is not a terrible card, but you have to make sure that you draw it at the end of your turn. Honestly, all of these are terrible. Like, I don't want any of them. So I'm going to just decline them all, because they don't help me. We're going to take an upgraded Fast Talk. Between these two, probably the Stone Fast Talk. We're going to take Hostile Instincts to gain more dominance. And that also becomes a hostility card, too, which is helpful for intimidations. So, that's good. You're gonna make me do your job for you? Nah, I guess not. Alright. Lena steps up. Okay, this guy is really dangerous, but we're gonna do what we can. He's also, I think, almost every turn gonna be gunning directly for Sal. Oh god, he's also gonna do 12 damage to our Urchin, so that means that our Urchin is going to run away. If we don't do anything about it, which is really bad. So we're going to play a Spine Fate on our Urchin so that it doesn't run away. And I'm going to just defend here, because otherwise I don't know what to do. But the problem is that slow playing this fight is going to be really dangerous for us. So he has hit us with Voltaic. So at the end of our turn, we take 2 damage for every galvanized card we have played. So cards that are galvanized are these flashing ones. Oh god, he's doing a big wide damage net again. And we're gonna take damage for that galvanize. But we can't slow play this fight. If we try to slow play it, he's just gonna drain all of our HP and we're gonna get screwed. Okay. Here we're gonna fight dirty. Mud Tosser to gain combo. Boosted combination for the damage, and then we're gonna do a finishing strike to do as much damage as we possibly can. Losing 4 HP to that is fine. This is why having a pet is really valuable, is that our pet will do passive damage every turn to him. Once again, Brazen Attack is more useful than anything else we could possibly do. And I'm going to play Survival Reflexes again to get as much defense as I can. But again, we're just not managing to do any damage to him because he can just defend so heavily. And we've lost all of our combo, too. If I'm willing to take 4 more... I can't take 4 more damage. We almost have a Flourish charged, which will be 100% necessary for not dying here. Okay, he's not doing us any damage this turn, which is good. I would really like to play Brazen Attack, but I am very scared of Galvanized doing extra damage to me. I'm definitely going to play Boosted Combination to gain the combo. Okay. We have a Flourish. This is awesome. This is the thing that will basically allow us to stop him from doing whatever it is he's doing. I'm probably going to do Squash 2 next turn, if I can help it. I would love to play Finishing Strike, but I don't think I need to. And I want the EXP on Feint. He's also been getting diseased from the Urchin, which has been really helpful. It's been reducing his max HP at the end of his turn. If we could make that even spicier, that would be great, but we can't. I'm going to do Squash 2. These are flourishes. I have upgraded these in a meta progression way by playing the game a lot. Stunning him like that will prevent him from attacking us this turn, which is awesome. This is a piercing attack, so I'm going to do it to hurt him. And otherwise, I'm just playing cards for EXP here, so I'm going to Survival Reflexes. Okay, he is impaired for the next 5 turns, so that's good. I'm going to play Boosted Combination. He's already doing a ton of damage to me. I really want to upgrade this stab, so I will play it. He's going to kill our Urchin. There's nothing we can do about that. Better the Urchin than us. It is a shame to lose all the investment that we invested a lot of money in that Urchin, and we now have lost it, so that very much sucks. But there's kind of nothing we can do about it. I don't really have anything good to do this turn. So yeah, none of this does anything for us. And we don't gain EXP anymore. So at this point, all we're doing is just trying to do damage to him so that he panics. Now, this is self-defense, so we are allowed to kill him. Let's see if we want to. Bolstered Planing. Gain 1 defense per card in your hand. That is not a bad card at all. This guy sucks. But I don't know if that's a great card for us. I don't really think it is, because we don't have a lot of draw. So I'm going to avoid killing him. But luckily, we won that fight. Unfortunately, Turnip died, which is a massive disappointment. We lose out on a lot of value because of that. But it is what it is. There was nothing we could do to stop it. We have Rummage, draw a card, discard a card. Not a bad card when it's upgraded, and it isn't too bad even now. But this is Prepared from Sci-fi, if you're familiar. We can also upgrade our cards before we pick here. But let's see. Barb Defense. Your counterattacks apply to Bleed, and not terrible. And follow through. Combo points spent for the rest of this turn are regained at the start of your next turn. Not terrible if you have the energy. I am going to take Rummage. Oop. And that is an alarm that I have set to take my medicine. So give me just 1 moment, please. All right, sorry about that. My medicine has been taken, and we are ready to go. I also get to pick a negotiation card after being the boss for some reason, which is like very funny. Ergo, improvise a card from your discard pile. Just the facts. Expend any number of cards and gain 1 smarts for each card expended. Or Airtight. Gain, whenever you play a diplomacy card, apply 2 composure to a random argument. None of these are good. None of these are good for what we are doing. So I am going to just decline all of them. I mean, Ergo is not bad. But it just lets us pull a card back from our draw pile, and we don't have the energy to play it. So I'm just going to decline. None of those are very good for us. And the reason why I didn't play the Bloated during that fight is that we're about to end the day and sleep it off. But I am going to upgrade our Feint here. We could take the Gradeshi Feint or the Boosted Feint. I'm going to take Boosted Feint. And the Stab, we have Strain Stab or Stab of the Nail. I'm going to take Strain Stab because discarding is actually pretty powerful. There are several cards that benefit a lot. We can also pick a Graft reward. Unfortunately, they are all negotiation grafts. So let's take a look at here. Shrokian Glamour Stones. Gain 1 action at the start of your turn. Bystanders and pets no longer assist you in negotiations. Drackle Janglers. Gain 1 action at the start of your turn. Your core argument takes 2 damage at the end of your turn. And 3 Fingers. Gain 1 action at the start of your turn, but when installed, 2 random people will hate you. I am going to take the Drackle Janglers because I think I can handle taking 2 damage at the end of my turn. Especially as Sal, who always gets +1 composure to her core argument. The Drackle Janglers are installed. Fish carefully navigates the mess of her bar, favoring her side. She doesn't look too badly injured, but she's not as young as she used to be. Well, that shucked a rotten oyster, but we've been through worse and we're both still standing. I can't believe she came for you like that. You. She doesn't care about anyone, does she? She's just a monster all the way down. What's done is done. The fire's only good if it stokes the engine, kid. I should have gone for Cassio as soon as I arrived. Now you're dragged into it too. None of that. You've got a bit of grit in your eye. You'll wink it out once you get some sleep. I got a room set up for you in the back. With Cassio gone, the few patrons that remained returned to their drinks. Them that weren't spilled, anyway. Losing Turnip is so bad. There's nothing we can do about it. They're just, like, there's nothing we can do about it. We'll have to go to bed. Bet your blood's boiling, kid, but we survived the day. Cool your feet, get some rest, and we'll come up with a plan in the morning. I would love to buy this Vial of Slurry. It would be so powerful, but I just can't afford it. Especially since we lost our pet. Good night's rest can't hurt, unless I wake up dead, that is. Cassio won't come back on my watch. The back's barricaded, and the front has me. Good night, kid. Fish leads you through a curtain behind the bar toward a cozy room at the back. Your bed calls to you. Used to have dreams as a kid, but the derrick took them right out of you and hung them out to dry in the moonlight. Go to sleep. Luckily, we restore 50% of our HP and resolve at the end of every day. Nobody hates us at the end of today. And we survived. So, with that survival, it is now day 2. You slept through the night with one hand gripping the knife under your pillow, but then you've slept that way every night since you were 12. You look like you want revenge, and I just know just the folks that can help you get it if you're ready. There's people in both the Spree and the Admiralty who want to see Cassio taken down. Dangerous friends, so pick wisely. Let's finish this conversation with Fish, and then I think we're going to wrap it up for the day. I didn't think I could get angry like that anymore. You spend years on the derrick, you learn to tamp it down, you know? Cassio has that effect on people, and you have more reason than most, except for all the other folks she sent to the derrick, maybe. They're not here, and I am. It's early morning, but the Grog and Dog's patrons are already hard at work on their drinks. So I know you thought I should hold off on that bounty, but after last night, if Cassio wants me to be her worst nightmare, I'd like to oblige. And how are you gonna do that? She knows you're here, and she's got money and goons to keep her safe. What do you got? Huh? You? You're damn right. Lucky for you, I have a couple of contacts who want Cassio dead almost as much as you do, if you can convince them to work with you. Will they need convincing? Afraid so. The Admiralty doesn't trust hunters as a rule, but talk to my contact, and see if you can convince her otherwise. But taking out Cassio would make a space in the Spree be more than happy to fill. I know somebody who will talk to you, especially if you can bring him Cassio's head on a platter. So let's ask Fish about all this different stuff. You think I should play nice with the law, huh? Why not? Lots of folk thinks bounty hunters are on the Admiralty's side. Lots of folk don't, too. The Admiralty, for example. Ulu will at least give you the time. The Admiralty acts like the tough guys around here, but they're as broke and corrupt as the rest. You don't like it? There's always the Spree. Lots of unclaimed bounties running with the Spree, I take it. They're small fry and you're a barracuda, but everyone knows Cassio's bounty is on the line. You've got your sights set higher. Convince Nadan of that and he'll give you the leg up you need once you paid your dues, of course. If I don't, then maybe he'll want to kill you. Or maybe he'll just want to be left alone. Peoples is peoples. That's very true. You really okay with this after last night? We're in for it now, whether we like it or not. Leave my grudges where I like them, as long as the hunt's still on. Absolutely. There's blood in the water. Then do it. You won't get no complaints from me. Figures Cassio'd come after you no matter what you did. Well, it's not like I came back as a lowly lumen sludger. She probably has an alert out for any bounty hunter who comes into port. Plus, you were asking around for info, huh? I thought you said I should keep my head down. Yeah, well, I never forgot what Casio did neither.
That's
Didn't seem right that you'd come home just to let bygones be bygones. And that bounty, it is a big bounty. The biggest. For that money, we could open 3 bars. You got it, fish. Dream big. Hell yeah. All right. Well, before we go about our business, it's time to end the video because these campaigns are super long. So, I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of the game. And leave a like if you liked it. And do all the YouTube things. I don't know. Bye. Bye.